I built the best free-to-play Jiyan in 24 hours. We gotta start by wishing for him first, and I've been saving for a long time for him. So yeah, we should have enough wishes. Alright guys, so this 10 pull, we'll decide whether we make this video or not. Let's go! We got him guys, I knew we could do it.
I have never regretted to brave the long night.
Now I can start saving up for Camellya and her weapon. I hope this is enough. Let's just start with these ascension materials. So I've been saving up my Beyblades today. Like I haven't done anything with him, so that I have enough for his ascension mats. And the good thing about his ascension mat is that it's actually also his forecast echo. So yeah, we can farm his ascension mat and his echo at the same time. So this is perfect. So he's like the first 5-star that I ever got, and I actually never like built him. Like if you guys look at his stats, they're terrible, man. I only like level them up to like 80 just so that I can like explore the world and farm echoes and do some damage. So yeah, this is gonna be like my first time. He even has like the weapon that I gave him when I started out. So yeah, I just start farming his echoes, I guess. Oh my god, his damage is so bad. I'm barely hitting 1000. Yeah, I can't wait to see what he can do by the end of the video. Yeah, I'm not gonna beat this guy with him. That's just impossible, guys. Yeah, he's not doing enough damage. Bro, 500 damage. Are you serious? Guys, I'm sorry that you have to watch this. Alright, this is first of many. I'm gonna see you guys once I have enough, but I'm not gonna use him anymore, bro, until I build him, because this is just embarrassing. Alright, let's move on. His flowers. And thank god they added this collection spot thingy, guys. Like this saves me so much time. All that's left now are the echoes. I'm gonna farm a few more echoes before the reset, because if I farm them now, then I can farm them again after a reset in a few hours. Rise and shine is the next day. So let's just start the day with his skills first, and don't worry guys, I will level 90 him too to make it fair. Alright, so let's go to the skills. And the best thing about Jiyan is that his kit is super simple, so I don't have to explain much, and that's also why he's my favorite character. So yeah, with his skill, he just dashes forward and does arrow damage, and you can also use this in mid-air, which makes him perfect for super jumps. So with his ultimate, he enters into his cooldown mode for 10 seconds, and all of his basic attacks are replaced with an enhanced heavy attack called of Wulong, and he also has an increased interruption resistance. So most of his damage comes from his ultimate. So if he's not in his ultimate, then he won't do much damage. So you guys want to make sure that you have enough energy, and his ultimate needs 125 energy, and it has a cooldown of 16 seconds. So you'll have like a downtime of 6 seconds where you can switch to your other units and get their buffs. You can also hold down your attack button when you're in his ultimate. So Jiyan actually has 2 ultimate animations. The first one is a normal one, but to get the second one, you need to like fill his forte to like half. So his forte stacks are called resolves, and you can hold up to 60 of them. So you can gain resolves by doing basic attacks or hitting an enemy with his intro, which will give you 30 resolves, which is really good because that's how much you need for the enhanced ultimate. But you only get the 30 resolves if you actually hit an enemy with your intro skill. So if you don't, then you don't get the 30 resolves. And if Jiyan doesn't hit any enemies for 15 seconds, then he'll lose his resolves. And be careful guys, if you have like 30 resolves or more and use his skill, then he'll use up your resolves and do 20% more damage with his skill. So try not to do this, because if you keep the 30 resolves and then go into his ultimate, then it will trigger the second animation, and you also get that 20% skill damage bonus. And his forte also has a really high multiplier when he's in his ultimate. Again, his intro deals arrow damage and gives you 30 resolves if you hit an enemy with it. So for his outro, if you have his consorter bar filled and switch to a character, then Jiyan will do heavy coordinated attacks, dealing arrow damage equal to 313% of Jiyan's attack. This lasts for 8 seconds and can be triggered once every 1 second, so up to 2 times. His first inherent skill will give him 10% attack increase after you cast his intro, but his second inherent skill, that's where all of the money is at. So this is his best skill in my opinion. So basically whenever he hits an enemy, he gains 12% crit damage. So yeah, this is basically permanent since you always hit the enemies. So for his skill priority, his ultimate is the most important, and then his forte, and then his skill. You can level his basic attack if you want, but once you have 100 uptime on his ultimate, then you won't really be using this much. So this is good for early game and mid game, but you won't really be needing it for the end game once you have good echoes, unless you want to use this in the overworld. You can also level his intro if you want to maximize his damage, but it's not really needed. So his ultimate and his forte are the most important. His skill is good, and you can just skip the rest. So yeah, let's just max his forte as much as we can. Like, look at this guys, this is really worth it. I hope I have enough money. Alright, let me craft this. There we go. Max. Try level this. You know what? I'm gonna level this once. I guess the game doesn't want me to level it. Let's move on to his weapon. So any of the 5-star broad blades are good for him, but his best in slot is of course his signature, which when you compare it to the standard 5-star broad blade, then his signature is 17% better. His second best option is of course Jinshi's weapon, so this is 7% better than the standard 5-star broad blade. I'm not gonna go for his signature weapon because I don't have enough asteroids saved up. His best 4-star weapon is of course the battle pass weapon, Autumn Trace. So yeah, if you have this, then just give him this. This is actually only 5% worse than the standard 5-star broad blade. So his best gacha 4-star weapon is the new one called Redshift. If you complete the exploration for the Black Shores, then you can get this weapon for free from the event. So if you want to know the fastest way to get 100% exploration on the Black Shores, then yeah, just watch my video on that. After that, we have the Helios Cleaver, what I gave him before. And then the craftable weapon, Broadblade 41, just gives him ER. So yeah, you won't need as much ER rolls on your echoes. You can also give him the Broadblade of Night or the Broadblade of Voyager, but I would recommend you guys to just get a new weapon from the event and do your exploration or just craft this. I'm gonna go from echoes now. Make sure to wish me luck. I hope I get a few arrow pieces. You know what time it is? Yup, it's time for some power. So the most important thing for Jiyan is first his ER. You need like 130 to 140 ER because again, most of his damage comes from his ultimate and you want 100% uptime on this. Otherwise, you're just losing damage. But you can get away with less ER depending on his team. His best set is the Sierra Gale set, but you can also use the Lingering Tune set. This is like 5% worse than the Sierra Gale set. And you can also mix them like 2-piece Lingering Tunes and then 2-piece Sierra Gale. This is like 10% worse depending on your stats. So for his echoes, you want attack, arrow, and then crit rate or crit damage, depending on how much crit rate or crit damage you have. You can also use a 3-cost ER piece if you don't have enough ER from his substat rolls. You can also use an attack piece instead of arrow damage if you have like bad rolls on your arrow pieces or if you only have one arrow piece. So yeah, you can go with arrow and attack percent if you want. Just go with whatever you get better stats on. Alright guys, let's just start with the 1-cost first and let's see what we get. I'm gonna roll this one more time and see what I get. Are you serious, bro? Yep, I swear guys, this thing hates me, man. Like, look at these rolls. Yep. See how bad this rolls? Alright guys, so this is what we ended up with. I tried to get ER on as many pieces as I can. 1 ER there, no ER here. I can re-roll this in the future once I have more echoes. ER, and ER. So we have ER on every piece except for this one. We have 136 ER, 81 crit rate, and 198 crit damage. I'm not worried about this too much because remember guys, he gets 12% crit damage from this. So this is 210, and then we get 25% crit damage from the Shorekeeper. So we'll be at 235 crit damage and 94 crit rate. Yeah, that's pretty good. And we meet his ER requirements. We can always have his ultimate up, and his attack is pretty good too. Overall, I'm pretty happy with him. So for his teams, it's a normal. You want the main DPS, the sub DPS, and the healer. So for his 2 best sub DPS, you have Alto and Modify. Between the 2, I'd recommend the Modify more, since if you build him, you can use him on other teams too, and his heavy attack bonus is also good, and Alto gives you arrow damage bonus. I'll have a build video on both of them soon. As for the healer, you can use whoever you want. I have a video on the Shorekeeper, Verena, and Baiju. So yeah, any of them work great, but I'd go with one of these. So for his gameplay, you first want his 40 stacks, and then you want his ultimate, and then once you cast his ultimate, you can use his skill to skip the animation, and after that you just hold your attack button and yeah, just repeat. Alright, so for his team rotations, you first want to get your sub DPS and healer to like 50% of the concerto. There we go, and then we switch to the healer, and then fill the healer up, like fill her concerto. There we go, and then we use the healer stuff, everything. Switch to Jiyan, use his echo, switch to this guy, and then use his ultimate. Switch back to Jiyan, press his ultimate, skill to skip the animation, and you just hold the attack button. And you wait for his skill to be back, and then bam, use his skill. So yeah, that's his like basic rotation. 269, please leave a like, man. Like, look at me, bro. I'm going broke here. And max. Okay, I don't have enough money for the rest.
Astral modulation. Loading.
You're wide open. Tell truth from facade. As you wish. Burn to ashes. Let's do this another way. Don't you worry.
Jiyan is way better than what I expected. And remember guys, I don't even have his best installed weapon, so I'm still missing a few damage, but he does like 100 something thousand with his ultimate every time. He gets like 90 something crit rate because of the shorekeeper too. Yeah, this guy always crits, and each crit is almost 10,000 damage. So yeah, if we add it all up together during his ultimate's duration, his damage is just insane, especially when I have enough things for him that maxes too. Let me know in the comments if you guys have any tips for me on what I can improve, and it would mean the world to me if you could leave a comment, a like, and subscribe. And yeah, have a nice rest of your day or night.